How did Batman go from being a loner vigilante protecting Gotham
Thanks for helping out, Batman.
to ultimately becoming the leader of the Justice League?
Congratulations, Batman. The people have spoken, and my absolute faith in the system assures me that you are clearly the correct leader.
Well, it all boils down to fighting a lot of notorious LEGO villains, making a bunch of superpowered friends. That's right, folks, I'm talking about Batman's entire journey so far in the LEGO Batman movies. Believe me, LEGO Batman is just as amazing as Christian Bale's Batman. So without yapping too much, come on, let's get started. DC Superheroes Unite kicks off with Batman and Superman barging into LexCorp to confront Lex, the smart-ass, bald supervillain. However, as soon as the dynamic duo enters the building, Lex renders Superman useless with kryptonite and drops a massive as hell container on Batman. Jeez, dude, they were just here to talk. After that, we cut to 2 days before, where Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor attend the Man of the Year award. Lex is confident he'll bag the win, but Bruce takes the award from right under the Baldy's nose. However, before Lex can completely vaporize him because of jealousy, Joker arrives there with his band of villains. There's Penguin, Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face, the Riddler, Harley Quinn, and Catwoman. Jeez, that's a lot of villains. The villain squad is here to rob everybody, and they do just that while Bruce sneaks out to wear his Batman costume. After dressing up as Batman, the Caped Crusader re-enters the building in his freaking Batmobile.
What's going to come out of that mouth of his?
Sorry to wipe that grin off your face, Joker.
It's one heck of an entry. Of course, Batman doesn't take long to beat the crap out of the pesky villains, but the douchebag Joker escapes on his boat. Fortunately, though, Batman's protege, Robin, arrives right on time in a chopper. And after hanging on the chopper for a bit, Batman summons his Batwing to follow Joker and eventually catches up to him. Now Joker gets taken to the Arkham Asylum, and Batman gets rude with Superman for arriving after the action's over. Meanwhile, Lex is sulking in his building for losing the Man of the Year award. Oh, also, Lex is the presidential candidate this year, but the ratings don't look very good for him. Obviously, Lex has a bunch of sneaky ways to win the election, but first he must deal with Batman and Superman. And to deal with the godly Superman, Lex needs enough kryptonite. Turns out, Joker's the right person to get him anything that he needs, so the dude doesn't waste a moment and frees Joker using his fancy-ass deconstructor. Apparently, the deconstructor can pull apart any block-colored object, but it runs on kryptonite. So Lex wants Joker to replace its power source. Not only that, but Lex also asks Joker to create some of his toxic gas in exchange for the deconstructor. Ooh, things are about to get bad. Obviously, Joker agrees to everything with a creepy smile, and while fleeing from Arkham, Joker also frees every other villain, including Poison Ivy. Moving on, Batman learns about the Breakout at the Arkham Asylum. Meanwhile, Lex and Joker break into Ace Chemicals to steal a bunch of colorful chemicals. Aside from stealing, Joker also spreads the chemicals on the floor like some Halloween decoration. On the other hand, Batman and Robin meet Commissioner Gordon, one of the good cops and Batman's friend. Gordon tells the vigilante duo that several scumbag villains are on the loose at Arkham. So Batman picks up his broom and starts cleaning up the garbage. Eventually, Batman captures every escaped villain, which also includes Bane. However, before Batman can break open a bottle of champagne to celebrate, he realizes that it was Lex who freed Joker and the others. Not only this, but Batman also finds out that Lex and Joker have broken into Ace Chemicals. Unfortunately, Lex and Joker are long gone by the time Batman and Robin arrive. Still, Batman investigates the site, figures out that Joker and Lex are trying to create kryptonite. Right after this, Batman and Robin had to jump off the building to survive the chemical blast. Fortunately, though, Superman arrives right on time to grab Batman and Robin mid-air like a Giga Chad.
And wow, that is great! Isn't that great, Batman?
Destroyed all the evidence of the crime scene.
Seriously? Not even a thank you? Okay. Robin asks Batman if they should tell Superman about Lex and the kryptonite plot, but Batman says no, because the dude wants to handle this on his own. Also, the villainous duo has already made kryptonite using the chemicals that they stole. Well, that's great. Once Superman leaves, Batman tracks the kryptonite in a moving truck and starts chasing it. Batman swoops in inside the truck and grabs the kryptonite, but Joker throws him off the truck by electrocuting him. In spite of that, Batman doesn't give up, starts chasing them on his Batmobile. And in that moment, Joker used the deconstructor to completely pull apart the Batmobile like it's some freaking Lego toy. Which it is. Moving on from that embarrassment, Batman and Robin return to the Batcave, where they put Lex and Joker's kryptonite along with a heck of a lot of other kryptonite. Apparently, Batman has stored all this kryptonite just in case Superman goes crazy and starts killing people. Anyway, the smartass Batman doesn't realize that Lex's kryptonite is a tracking device, which helps the scumbag duo track down the Batcave. Darn it. Obviously, Batman and Robin try to fight, but Joker and Lex bring the whole place down using the deconstructor. Now, while Batman and Robin barely escape the cave, Lex and Joker finally get their hands on Batman's kryptonite stash. Thanks to the massive blast in the Batcave, Superman also arrives and learns everything from Batman. So without wasting any moments, Batman and Superman barge into the LexCorp building. Alright, we're finally caught up to the opening sequence. But now we learn that the sickos Lex and Joker have created a massive robot-type thingy that uses kryptonite.
You feel okay, Superman? I hope you voted before you got here.
Wow, that is one massive Lego set. While Superman tries to get back on his feet and Batman almost becomes ketchup, Lex reveals that he plans to unleash Joker's gas on all over Gotham. Why? Because then the common folk will have to vote for this bald scumbag. Sensing that both Superman and Batman are now dead, Joker and Lex fly away on their robot to execute their stupid plan. But once they leave, we learn that Batman and Superman actually switched costumes before the confrontation. The villainous duo actually used kryptonite on Batman and dropped the container on Superman. So, yeah, both of them are very much alive. Okay, that was pretty smart. Batman and Superman now start to chase Lex and Joker's robot, and Batman damages the robot enough for it to crash down. However, Lex uses the kryptonite on Superman mid-air, and our mighty hero starts falling down from the sky. Fortunately, though, Batman saves Superman in the nick of time. Thank God. However, Superman sort of temporarily loses his powers because of the kryptonite. So both heroes reach the evil robot by taking the buzz. By this time, though, Lex releases Joker's gas to manipulate people into voting for him. Sadly for Lex, however, people start cheering up for Joker because the sick bastard double-crossed Lex. Of course. Anyway, Superman used a little bit of his restored power to destroy the robot's inventory of kryptonite, and the alien material starts dropping everywhere. There's so much of kryptonite that becomes visible from space. So the Justice League, including Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, Green Lantern, and John Jones, arrive right on time to help their friends. Now, while Lex and Joker almost destroy Wayne Tower, the Justice League members eventually destroy the notorious robot.
There is a little good news. At least you're not going to be president.
Yeah. Take joy in that, while in prison. So yeah, Joker and Lex are sent to rot in prison, and the Justice League makes some very funny jokes like a bunch of kids. But hey, the problem ain't over, because deep in space, we see Brainiac, another sick villain who's located Green Lantern on Earth. Oh, damn. The Lego Movie kicks off with the introduction of a wizard known as Vitruvius. The Gandalf-like dude has been protecting the Kraggle, the most powerful superweapon. However, a man named Lord Business swoops in with his funny robots and blinds Vitruvius. Once this is done, Lord Business steals the Kraggle. But before he can leave, Vitruvius tells Business about a prophecy. This strange prophecy mentions that someone special with a yellow face who will find the piece of resistance and stop the Kraggle. But of course, Lord Business doesn't care one bit about his prophecy crap and kicks the wizard in the butt.
Wow, that was a great, inspiring legend that you made up.
This dude needs to take this prophecy business seriously. See what I did there? Okay, moving on. We move forward to 8.5 years in the city of Bricksburg. There we meet a lonely yet very enthusiastic construction worker named Emmett. Oh, and yes, this dude is yellow from head to toe, so he might actually be the hero and the master builder from the prophecy. Just real quick, in the Lego world, everything is built like we build Lego sets. Now, Lego fans get instructions or manuals with a Lego set. However, some elite Lego builders think past the instruction manual and build something different with the same Lego pieces. In the Lego movie, master builders are these elite people who can build anything without instructions or user manuals. Normal citizens, on the other hand, strictly follow instructions to build anything. And at this point in the story, Emmett isn't a master builder. Moving on from this, Emmett is leading his usual life with a heck of a lot of instructions. Then one night, the yellow dude encounters a strange girl searching his construction site for some relic. So of course, Emmett starts following her to find out what the hell the girl's up to. But while acting like a ninja, Emmett falls into a hole, where he discovers the piece of resistance. Naturally, Emmett touches the piece and experiences some very strange visions before losing consciousness. After waking up, Emmett realizes that he's been captured by Bad Cop. Yeah, that's the actual name of the dude. Bad Cop, who also has a good cop side, works for Lord Business. By the way, Lord Business is now the president of Bricksburg and is planning to freeze the world using Kraggle. But what's interesting is that the piece of resistance has become stuck to Emmett's back. Of course, Bad Cop realizes that this Emmett dude is the special one from the prophecy. He relays this message to Lord Business, who wants Emmett to be destroyed. Oh no. Fortunately though, the girl from before, actually named Wildstyle, barges in without an invitation and wrecks the entire freaking place. Wildstyle tells Emmett that he's indeed some chosen warrior. Obviously, Emmett is clueless about all this. Still, Wildstyle helps him escape and takes the guy to the Old West. During the escape, we find out that Emmett clearly has a crush on Wildstyle. At the same time, Wildstyle sort of realizes that there's nothing special about Emmett. Might not actually be the hero from the prophecy. In fact, Wildstyle is pissed at Emmett for destroying the prophecy by carrying the piece of resistance on his back like a bloody backpack. Now, we cut to Lord Business's office, where we find out that Lord Business hates the change. He wants Bricksburg to stay as it is because it was built that way through the instruction manual. That is why he also hates the master builders, because they can think out of the box and change the world as they wish. Now, he wishes to use the Kraggle to freeze the entire world. Oh, also, Craggle isn't some outworldly relic. In fact, it's actually a tube of glue. That's right, Craggle is actually glue that Lord Business wants to use to freeze the world so nothing ever changes. Also, the bad guy's pissed at Bad Cop for letting Emmett escape, so he glues Bad Cop's parents as punishment. Not only that, but Lord Business also erases the good cop side, so now we only have Bad Cop. Now we cut to the Old West, where Wildstyle explains that master builders can create without instructions, and Lord Business wants to get rid of such creativity. Then, Wildstyle takes Emmett to meet the old dude Vitruvius. Oh good, you're alive. Initially, Vitruvius doesn't understand why Emmett was chosen, but eventually, the wizard and Wildstyle enter Emmett's mind. There, Emmett mentions that in his vision, he saw a glimpse of the man upstairs. Yeah, that would be the person with the Lego set. Right then, Vitruvius starts to believe in Emmett and agrees to train this clueless yellow guy. Later that day, Bad Cop tracks Emmett and Wildstyle, which leads to a not-so-deadly and entertaining fight. However, before things can get any more ugly for the good Legos, Batman arrives to save them.
Everybody, I'm here. Batman! What's up, babe?
Babe!
What?
Oh, sorry, Batman. This is Emmett. Emmett, this is my boyfriend, Batman.
I'm Batman.
Oh yes, the freaking Batman is Wildstyle's boyfriend. So yeah, good luck competing with that, Emmett. Batman takes Emmett and the group to Middle Zealand. Apparently, Batman wants Emmett to meet other master builders in Cloud Cuckoo Land, which also includes Princess Unikitty, our very own cat-unicorn hybrid. Oh, that's not all, because there's also Wonder Woman, Superman, Shaq, and Benny. After meeting everyone, Emmett attempts to propose a plan against Lord Business, but the master builders aren't exactly impressed by Emmett's least creative plan of the century. However, before they can decide on any plan or trash on Emmett even more, Bad Cop attacks with his forces and destroys every damn thing. Not only this, but Bad Cop also captures most master builders, and that includes Superman. Fortunately though, Emmett, Unikitty, Batman, Vitruvius, and Wildstyle manage to escape in a submarine. But it doesn't take long for Bad Cop to destroy the sub as well. However, our boy Emmett builds a double-decker couch. Yeah, you heard it right. A double-decker couch. Sounds stupid on the face of it, but guess what? This stupid couch saves Emmett and the group from drowning. Later, the good guys are rescued by Metalbeard, a mechanized pirate who clearly belongs in One Piece. Now, after feeling sorry for himself for long enough, Emmett, as well as the others, decides to infiltrate Lord Business's headquarters using instructions. If they manage to do that, Emmett can use the piece of resistance to destroy the Craggle glue. Well, the group agrees to follow the plan, and they split into teams to reach the Craggle. Emmett and Wildstyle infiltrate the worker system to reach the Craggle. Turns out the plan is great, and Emmett and Wildstyle manage to get deep inside Lord Business's building. In fact, things get even more peachy when Wildstyle starts to take an interest in Emmett and reveals that her real name is Lucy. But this romance thing doesn't last for long as the entire group gets captured. This is not the worst part though, as after getting captured, Vitruvius gets killed by Lord Business right in front of his friends.
It is no match for the purity of imagination.
Jesus, are you telling me I won't hear more of Morgan Freeman? Darn it. Before dying, Vitruvius reveals that he made up the entire prophecy, so yeah, everything is just a big fat lie. Once all that's done, Lord Business takes the piece of resistance off Emmett's back and throws it into the nothingness, or out of the world. Then, Lord Business prepares to destroy the Master Builders through electrocution. What's worse is that Lord Business also leaves Bad Cop to die along with the good guys. Instantly after leaving, Lord Business starts to glue people in the city from right, left, and center. However, before the electric shock can kill the Master Builders, Emmett sacrifices himself by falling out of the Lego world and into the real world. By doing that, Emmett disables the electrocution mechanism and frees the others. Jesus, what's happening now? Lucy and everyone else feel like crying. They have no time for this. In fact, everyone gets inspired by Emmett's actions, and the Master Builders and the citizens begin creating freely without instructions. And well, this makes things a tad bit difficult for Lord Business. During all of this, Emmett wakes up in the real world. Like in the real freaking world. There, Emmett sees a boy named Finn playing with his father's Lego sets. But his father, the man upstairs, doesn't like the fact that his son changed something with the Lego set. The man wants everything as it is. Basically, the dude's boring as hell. Now, as the man begins fixing the sets permanently, the Lego world starts losing its freedom. Oh no. By this time though, Emmett starts to regain his movement. Without wasting any more time, Emmett gets the piece of resistance back from Finn and returns to the Lego world. That's what I'm talking about. Now our boy Emmett is back in the Lego world. But this time, Emmett has the much needed confidence to go against Lord Business. Emmett starts to fight by building creatively and without any boring as hell instructions. Emmett not only defeats Lord Business, but also reveals him as President Business. Yeah, there goes your secret identity, dude. However, instead of killing Lord Business or whatever happens to Lego minifigures, Emmett convinces the douchebag that creativity is actually fun. Meanwhile, in the real world, the man upstairs gets impressed by his son's creativity, and eventually the big man changes his perspective and allows Finn and his sister to play freely. All this change of heart makes President Business use the piece of resistance to neutralize the Craggle. However, the merger of the piece and Craggle creates a blast which kills Lord Business right on the spot. Man, I'm kinda sad. Since the crackle's gone, everything goes back to normal, and the people are no longer frozen. Oh, also, Batman has been nothing but a jerk to Emmett through all this. So Lucy breaks up with the Dark Crusader, and now our boy Emmett and Lucy are together. It's a pretty happy ending, right? Well, yeah, except for the fact that by the end, Duplo aliens arrive and threaten to destroy the Lego world. This story is just getting started, guys. The Batman Be-Leaguered film kicks off with Superman inviting Batman to join the Justice League, the OP superhero club. But as expected, Batman refuses because he loves to work alone. What can you say, dude's a loner. Moving on from that, after fighting against Penguin, Man-Bat, and Joker, Superman suddenly disappears along with the villains and a stolen jewel. It's weird. Naturally, Batman begins investigating to figure out what the hell is going on. Batman now teams up with the Flash and goes after Captain Cold, a supervillain who likes to freeze everything. This time though, Captain Cold wants to steal something like he's some petty thief. But guess what? Flash disappears during the fight while Batman is temporarily frozen. After recovering though, Batman defeats Captain Cold, who then vanishes with the stolen items. Similarly, Aquaman also vanishes while going after Black Manta. Seriously guys, stop disappearing. Oh, it doesn't stop there. After that, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Lex Luthor also join the club by vanishing out of thin air. At this point, Batman realizes that Batmite is doing all this. Turns out Batman was right because Batmite has gathered all the missing heroes and villains in the Hall of Justice.
Batman, thanks Thalassa.
400 million and... oh, hey.
That's what you call an ambitious Lego collection. Apparently, Batmite is obsessed with Batman. Doesn't think a legendary hero like Batman needs Justice League or whatever. Of course, Justice League doesn't take long to break free from Batmite's cage. After that, Batman tells Batmite that it isn't so bad to have friends and to work as a team. Of course, Batmite's pissed, so he summons all the wretched villains he can find, but they all get defeated by the combined efforts of the Justice League. Seeing such a badass team, Batmite decides to root for the entire Justice League instead of just Batman. And finally, Batman joins the Justice League, much to everybody's delight. That's what I'm talking about. The Justice League vs. Bizarro League film kicks off with Superman arriving on an alien planet with Bizarro, a zombified doppelganger of Superman. Superman wants Bizarro to stay on this planet, which we'll call the Bizarro world, so the guy doesn't hurt humans. Bizarro wants to save people, so Superman builds a citizen out of a rock and a fake-ass daily planet to keep the gullible Bizarro happy. Once that's done, Superman flies out of there and leaves Bizarro to play with rocks. Now we cut to 1 year later, where Giganta, a woman the size of a building, starts to destroy the Daily Planet. Fortunately though, Superman and Wonder Woman arrive right on time to fight the Godzilla lady. But it turns out this is all to create a distraction for Grodd, a super intelligent gorilla and a supervillain. Apparently, Grodd is using a hypnotic device to control Giganta, Penguin, Captain Cold, and Deathstroke and make them steal from a bank. What a coward. Sadly for Grodd though, Batman figures it all out, takes the mind control helmet off of Grodd with Cyborg's help. All the other villains are pissed that Grodd was mind controlling them, and all that for stealing bananas.
You? That's cold, man. This heist better be for something good. Bananas? Bananas?
Seriously, don't you get bananas in like the jungle? Batman and Cyborg start to fight Grodd while the other villains try to flee. So Batman orders Hawkman, Green Arrow, Plastic Man, and Flash to wrap up the fleeing villains. At the same time, Guy Gardner, or Green Lantern, arrives to help Superman and Wonder Woman. Of course, it takes some effort, and endangering the lives of some children, but eventually, the heroes catch all the bad guys. Later that day, the Justice League spends some time at the Hall of Justice, where we learn that Batman is having a hard time trusting Superman. That is why he's always carrying a piece of kryptonite in his bag. Come on. Later that day, the Justice League learns that Bizarro has returned and attacked LexCorp, so the heroes rush there to stop Superman's duplicate. While the Justice League deals with the whole Superman doppelganger situation, Bizarro steals Lex's duplicator, which created Bizarro in the first place. Not only that, but Bizarro also used the duplicator on Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Batman, and Cyborg, so now they all have doppelgangers. We have Bad Zorro, Green Zorro, Cesaro, and Bizarro. These are really weird Zorro names. Now we officially have the Bizarro League. And before Justice League can react, Bizarro freezes the heroes and flees with his newly created friends. Before leaving though, Bizarro grabs a kryptonite bomb from Lex's place. So yeah, he can blow up any place now. That's great. Moving on, Bizarro League travels to the Bizarro world and Justice League follows them to the alien planet after coming out of the ice. Once there, except for Superman, every hero's powers start to work weirdly, all thanks to the shiny rocks on the planet. Also, it turns out the space bully Darkseid is on this planet with his most trustworthy minion, Desaad. Apparently, Darkseid has been harvesting the shiny rocks in the Bizarro world. After getting enough of these rocks, Darkseid wants to render every superhero useless and destroy Earth. Also, it turns out Bizarro wanted to stop Darkseid from destroying his new home, and that is why he created the Bizarro League. That makes sense. After realizing that Bizarro hasn't gone bad and that Darkseid is the real threat here, Superman agrees to stop the big baddie. However, Bizarro is disappointed in himself and he wants to feel like a real friggin' hero at least once. So around the same time, when Justice League is about to defeat Darkseid, Bizarro swoops in like an idiot and uses the kryptonite bomb on both Superman and Darkseid. Dude, you should really read the Superman memo. Bizarro thought that the bomb would harm Darkseid and not Superman, but of course, things end up going the opposite way. Superman is on the ground covered with kryptonite radiation, and Darkseid is healthy enough to party. Superman is close to being dead, so without wasting a moment, Darkseid uses the Bizarro rocks to fire a beam at Earth. Fortunately, Hawkman creates a shield so the Earth doesn't get cooked. Meanwhile, Bizarro is sad because he made a boo-boo, but Superman tells him to stop worrying. Superman also asks Batman and the others to overcharge Darkseid's ship by throwing more Bizarro rocks at it. Batman finally starts to trust Superman and agrees to follow the plan. Now both Justice and the Bizarro League throw every piece of Bizarro rock at Darkseid's ship, which, well, destroys the bully ship. With his ship dusted, Darkseid ducks his tail behind his back and runs away. Also, Bizarro actually comes around in the end and sucks all the kryptonite radiation to save Superman. So yeah, our favorite alien superhero survives the whole thing. Thanks to this whole experience, Batman sort of starts to like Superman, as he should. Finally, Justice League helps the Bizarro League fix Bizarro's planet. Back on Earth, Lex commences something called Operation Doom. Justice League can't catch a break, can it? Attack of the Legion of Doom kicks off with the Justice League doing a pretty great job at running of villains, so the world is safe and Lex Luthor's pissed. In fact, Lex is so damn pissed that he wants to form a team of villains called the Legion of Doom. The first two members of the villain team is Sinestro and Black Manta. However, it turns out Lex isn't the mastermind behind this. Actually, it's Darkseid who's making Lex do all of this. Darkseid wants to conquer Earth, so he asks Lex to gather other douchebag villains in the Hall of Doom, which, as the name implies, is the HQ of villains. Seriously? Even villains get in office? I guess budget isn't an issue with these guys. Now we cut to the Hall of Justice, where Flash and Green Lantern are fighting over Wonder Woman. And once Wonder Woman tells these guys to sit their asses down, Superman confirms that they need to select a new leader for Justice League. And, well, after a stupid-as-hell voting session, Batman is selected as the new leader. That's a big W. However, before Batman can celebrate, the Justice League learns that a bad guy known as the Trickster has robbed a bank. So the Justice League put on their work pants to catch the tricky villain. The Trickster tries to outsmart the Justice League with his tricks, but eventually runs out of filthy ideas and gets caught. Back in the Hall of Doom, Lex, Sinestro, and Black Manta have been hosting a audition for the Legion of Doom. Really? Come on, what is this, a Villain's Got Talent? Grodd, Cheetah, Penguin, Captain Cold, Joker, and Man-Bat barely passed the stupid and totally unnecessary obstacle course. However, Deathstroke surprised the crap out of everybody by nailing every bloody obstacle. Guess what? Lex gets so damn jealous that he throws Deathstroke out of the arena. Okay. Not only that, but he also throws out Joker, Man-Bat, and Penguin because there aren't enough spots in the Legion of Doom. Now that the Legion of Doom is complete, the sickos decide to get inside the US government secret facility Area 52. The next day, General Sam Lane, the commanding officer at Area 52, informs the Justice League that Area 52 is under attack. So naturally, Justice League reaches the secret government facility where they meet the Legion of Doom. Now, while the heroes fight the band of villains, Lex takes Darkseid's help to get inside the facility. Sam tries to stop the evil duo, but gets blasted by Darkseid's laser beam.
Well, sorry, pal. Not on General Sam Lane's watch.
How quaint.
Jeez. Once the general's out cold, Lex steals some sort of tube from the facility that's holding a mysterious person. After that, Lex orders the Legion of Doom to get the hell out of there. Later, General Lane confirms that what Lex stole was holding some dangerous alien. Ooh, a mystery, I love it. Back at the Hall of Doom, Lex releases the alien prisoner. Turns out the alien is none other than John Jones. Lex lies to John that the Justice League members are bad, and the Legion of Doom are sort of messengers of God. Yeah, we all know John will be in Justice League, so settle down, Lex. Anyway, John wants to punish the Justice League, and since he can take anybody's shape, the alien infiltrates the Hall of Justice by becoming Batman. John then plants a bug that triggers a false alarm for a nuclear reactor going bad. Of course, there's nothing wrong with the nuclear reactor, but Justice League doesn't know that. So they pick the reactor and throw it into space. Of course, everybody's pissed. Like, really pissed. And they start seeing Justice League as some selfish villains. So guess what? The US government decided to throw the Justice League off of Earth. Batman is against this, but Superman suggests that they do what the people of Earth want. So, well, the mighty heroes leave the planet, geez, and Justice League is now wandering in space thinking of a strategy. But the scumbag Sinestro decides to make things worse for the hero by pushing their ship off to another galaxy.
Side of the galaxy.
Justice League is now in a galaxy far, far away. Naturally, the Legion of Doom is over the moon that Justice League is gone. But in this moment, John starts to wonder if these Doom guys are actually the good guys. Meanwhile, Justice League's ship starts to get pulled by a freaking black hole. At the same time, the heroes also learn that the cyborg with them right now isn't the real cyborg, but a bot. The real cyborg is back on Earth, and he learns that it was John who planted a bug inside the Hall of Justice. However, before Cyborg can get this evidence to the world, Sinestro attacks the Hall of Justice. Fortunately for Cyborg, though, John takes over Sinestro's mind. Yeah, he could do that apparently, and save Cyborg. John also apologizes to Cyborg for tricking the Justice League and says that he wants to make things right for the heroes. About time, John. Join the Justice League. John takes the first step towards redemption by bringing Justice League back to Earth. Finally. At the same time, Lex launches an attack on Earth and orders the world's governments to submit to him. But Justice League is back, baby! So they rush out to stop the bald scumbag while Cyborg has to watch over John and Sinestro. Justice League tries its best against the Legion of Doom, but somehow, the villains overwhelm the heroes with their abilities. Right then, Cyborg decides to take charge and converts the entire Hall of Justice into a frickin' ship. Wow, that's amazing. Cyborg fires weapons installed in the Hall of Justice, and John defeats almost every villain single-handedly. Well done, Green Alien. Finally, Lex is back in prison, and Batman offers a Justice League membership to John. So it's all good, right? No, far from it. Because Darkseid is pissed that Lex has failed despite all the help. So the big space bully decides to join hands with Brainiac. Justice League Gotham City Breakout begins with Batman giving a short introduction of his team. Batman introduces Nightwing, who was the first Robin before taking on a new identity. But then, another young boy became Robin. At the same time, we also see Batgirl and Alfred. It's the entire OP Bat family. After the introduction's over, Batman and Robin go out to chase Penguin and Harley Quinn, who are causing trouble with petty theft. They instantly render Penguin useless, but Quinn makes things a bit more difficult by joining Poison Ivy. But hey, Batman is more than just a manly voice, so he easily defeats Ivy and Quinn. But right then, Batman sees a frickin' ninja lurking over a building. So Batman chases the dude only to find out that it's actually Nightwing. Apparently, Batman made his debut on this day. So Nightwing led Batman to a secret anniversary party. All Justice League are there to partay. Not only them, but the Teen Titans, including Raven and Beast Boy. They're also there to celebrate. Naturally, Batman's team wants to give something to their fearsome leader. And this gift is none other than a vacation. Of course, Batman doesn't want to go. But the Teen Titans agree to keep the city safe while Batman's away. Even the Justice League agrees to chip in for Gotham if needed. So, well, Batman agrees to take a much-needed vacation with Batgirl and Nightwing. Off to the Bahamas? No? Alright. Now, while Superman stays back in Gotham to protect the city, Nightwing and Batgirl take Batman to meet his mentor, Madam Mantis. Mantis is old, but he's strong enough to beat the crap out of Nightwing.
Where'd you come from? I didn't hear you approach.
Ah!
Oh! Ah! Ow!
See? She's crazy. Of course, Batman should be happy to meet his master, but he senses something is wrong. Turns out, Batman's right. Because a Trugawog has been impersonating Mantis. Not only that, but Deathstroke is somehow behind all of this. Darn it, trouble always seems to find Batman, even on vacation. Back at Gotham, Commissioner Gordon summons Superman and Robin to inform them that Joker has escaped Arkham Asylum. Superman is confident that he can handle a non-powered man with clown makeup on, so he flies away to deal with it. Now, while Batman follows Trugawog and Deathstroke inside a cave, Joker tricks Superman into firing his laser beam. Joker then redirects Superman's beam towards Arkham, which frees a bunch of other scumbag villains. Gosh. Back to Batman, the Dark Knight tells Batgirl and Nightwing that he and Deathstroke, aka Slade, were once best friends. What the hell? Not only that, but both of them trained under Madam Mantis. Then we see a flashback and the cuter versions of Bruce and Slade. They train together, but Slade leaves the dojo when Mantis decides to teach her forbidden move to Bruce, and not him. Back to the present, Batman's team jumps from a waterfall and arrives at the secret kingdom of Trugawogs, where they meet Deathstroke. Apparently, Trugawogs are some sort of magical creatures who are protected by Madam Mantis. Shockingly, the Trugawogs and Deathstroke make Batman surrender by threatening to kill Batgirl and Nightwing. After moving forward, Batman learns that the mastermind behind all this is Bane, using something called the Psyche Stone to turn Trugawogs violent. Bane and Slade also used the stone on Mantis to learn the forbidden move, but the old woman didn't give them anything. And now they want to use the same stone on Batman to learn the frickin' forbidden move. Well, they do just this, and learn that the forbidden move splits the enemy's body into different parts, even though their soul remains intact. That is disturbing. But before the evil duo can learn how exactly to execute the forbidden move, Batman starts resisting. So Slade and Bane decide to let Batman have some rest. Wow, awful vacation. While all of this has been happening, Cyborg joins Superman to help the guy. But even then, they can't do crap against Gotham's villains. So, Superman swallows his ego and decides to call Wonder Woman. We then cut to Batman, and we see Bane through the Dark Knight in a prison cell, where he meets Madam Mantis, the real one. Batman also meets the prince of the Trugawogs, Grungle. Grungle tells Batman that Trugawogs were once peaceful people, or aliens. However, Bane defeated Grungle's father and used the Psyche Stone to make his people not so peaceful, and to make them mean. Anyway, Batman has had enough backstory, so he decides to break into the prison cell and give Bane and Slade a really hard time. Speaking of having a hard time, Superman, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman are in a big mess against the Gotham villains. To make things worse, Scarecrow uses fear gas on the heroes, and the heroic trio suddenly start to fear heights?
Look how high up we are!
Then we cut to Batman, and the Dark Knight's team is out of the prison cell. But unfortunately, Bane catches Grungle. Bane asks Batman to surrender if he wants to save his Trugawog friend, and well, Batman decides to end this by finally giving Bane the secret to the forbidden move. Oh no! Batman surrenders to the evil villains, and they use the Psyche Stone to learn the godforsaken forbidden move. That's bad news. At least Superman's team is having a slightly less bad time in Gotham. That's all thanks to Robin, who helps the Justice League escape and agrees to join them in this fight. Back to Batman, Slade takes him back inside the prison cell while Bane uses the Psyche Stone to teach Trugawogs the forbidden move. Slade has always been jealous of Batman, so he challenges his dojo brother to a duel. During the fight, Slade triggers the forbidden move, but he refused to use it on Batman. Why? It's simple. Batman knew this move all this time. He never used it, so Slade doesn't want to use it as well. At this point, Slade decides to become an honorable dude and fight alongside Batman and Mantis. You're a goner now, Bane. Oh, also at this point, Superman's team has successfully rounded up Joker and the other villains. It's about time. Around the same time, Nightwing and Batgirl take on Bane while Batman and Slade go against the Trugawogs. Sadly though, things aren't looking good for Batman's team, since Trugawogs know the forbidden move. However, Batman has an ace up his sleeve. Apparently, when Bane extracted the forbidden move from Batman's mind, the Dark Knight also implanted a dance move through his thoughts. Now that same dance move is inside the minds of Trugawogs. Okay, that's brilliant. So, well, Batman activates it and makes the Trugawogs do a weird as hell dance. At the same time, Prince Grungle decides to man up and defeats Bane single-handedly. So yeah, everything's back to normal. But sadly, Deathstroke refuses to stay friends with Batman and decides to walk on a separate and villainous path. Justice League Cosmic Clash begins with Brainiac showing off his collection of planets. Apparently, this sick bastard has been compressing and collecting different planets, and to complete his collection, Brainiac decides to go after Earth. It's a bad idea, my friend. After a few days, Brainiac arrives near Earth to compress the planet using his shrink ray. However, Justice League detects the threat and defeats Brainiac before he can make Earth into a Lego minifigure. Superman seals the deal by throwing Brainiac's ship deep into space. Yeah, complete your Lego collection from somewhere else, Brainiac. However, the fight ain't over yet. That's because Brainiac returns to his planet, where he meets other junior Brainiacs because one is not irritating enough on his planet. The main Brainiac, or Brainiac 1.1, asks Brainiac 1.2 and Brainiac 1.3 to repair his ship. Meanwhile, the douchebag takes the premium Brainiac vessel to return to Earth. As soon as Brainiac returns to Earth, Green Lantern, Superman, and Wonder Woman confront this space jerk. But this time, Brainiac uses the temporal anomaly to send the three heroes somewhere else in time. But hey, Batman's one smart guy, so he gets back to the Batcave with Flash and Cyborg and builds a fancy a time machine. He builds a time machine. Meanwhile, Brainiac starts to catalog every species on Earth so he can ultimately shrink down this planet. So, Batman hurries up, sits his ass on the time machine, and uses the device with Flash's help. Cyborg stays behind though to, slow down Brainiac by introducing him to Game of Thrones or something. Moving on, Flash and Batman now arrive in prehistoric times while tracking the missing heroes. There, Batman sees Vandal Savage, a nemesis of the Justice League who doesn't age. Savage is carrying a woman named Ugg. Yep, that's her real name. Naturally, Batman tries to fight Savage, but Ugg uses the opportunity to capture both Batman and Savage. Now she wants to take both men to meet the Cave Queen. In the present, Cyborg is having a hard time dealing with Brainiac all alone, so he calls Supergirl. Back to the prehistoric era. Turns out the Cave Queen is none other than Wonder Woman. What? Apparently, Wonder Woman has amnesia. She doesn't remember anything about the Justice League. Batman realizes that if he makes Wonder Woman remember, she will automatically return to her original time. And to make her remember, Batman challenges Wonder Woman to a freaking duel. During the duel, Batman uses the lasso of truth on Wonder Woman to make her remember, and it all works like magic. Just like that, Wonder Woman returns to the original timeline and joins Cyborg and Supergirl. Now, Batman and Flash find Green Lantern, who sadly is working on a pirate ship under a very mean captain. I'll tell ya, the captain of this ship ain't no Luffy. Of course, Green Lantern doesn't remember anything as well, but he tells Batman that the ship captain has taken his green ring. Yeah, that same superpowered ring that makes him Green Lantern. Without wasting a moment, Batman gets the ring back and makes Green Lantern remember as well. So yeah, Green Lantern returns to the original timeline. 2 down, next is Superman. Of course, Brainiac is pissed that heroes are returning, so he sends deadly dinosaurs to the original timeline. Oh, also, Superman is currently in the future, so Brainiac takes control over our favorite hero and makes him attack Batman upon his arrival.
We hope you enjoy your time here in Brainiactropolis before you are vaporized.
Jesus, what happened to the all-cute Superman? Fortunately for Batman, though, he isn't alone fighting crazy Superman in the future. Other superheroes, including Saturn Girl, Cosmic Boy, and Lightning Lad, arrive right on time to help Batman. Sadly, though, these new superheroes don't stand a chance against crazy Superman under Brainiac's control. However, Batman uses the time to find his Dark Knight armor after returning to his Batcave. Naturally, Superman finds Batman and starts fighting his old friend. But during the fight, Batman uses the power of the Yellow Sun to break Superman from Brainiac's control. And finally, the good old Superman returns to the original timeline to help the Justice League. The Justice League is back, baby! But it's already too late, as Brainiac gets his original ship back. In an instant, the crazy dude shrinks Earth and locks the planet inside a bottle. And naturally, the Justice League is also shrunken down. But hey, the heroes don't know how to give up, so they get on their ships and find their way out of the bottle. They're still shrunk down to the size of an ant, so they use their ships to form a massive robot, like it's some Transformer movie. Just like that, the Justice League beats the crap out of Brainiac and returns Earth to its normal size. Finally, Brainiac is in a prison cell collecting coins instead of planets, and the Justice League has enough time to play hide and seek. The Lego Batman movie kicks off with Gotham City in chaos as Joker hijacks a plane full of explosives. But Joker's not alone. Many other villains, including Scarecrow, Riddler, Bane, Two-Face, and Catwoman, are working together. The plan is simple. Joker intends to blow up the city if the mayor doesn't show up in 5 minutes to surrender the city. While the Joker has calculated everything, he forgot, as usual, Batman's skill. And Batman comes in wearing the mayor's disguise only to kick ass and save the city. After beating the crap out of Joker, making him feel bad for, well, being bad, Batman returns to his empty, sad life. The next day, Bruce goes to Commissioner Gordon's retirement party, where he sees Barbara Gordon, the commissioner's daughter, and is love-struck. And as Bruce is busy eyeballing the commissioner's daughter, Dick Grayson is interviewing Bruce and asks if he would adopt him, to which the love-struck Bruce says okay. Now it turns out the new police commissioner of GCPD is Barbara Gordon. She's not a Batman fan and wants to put a stop to the mass vigilante. Bruce takes this, not so subtly. Meanwhile, Barbara also wants Batman to work with the police as a detective. Just then, Joker crashes the party with his gang of villains and orders Harley Quinn to take the new commissioner. As Batman and Barbara begin to kick the asses of the villains, the big shocker comes. The Joker is here to surrender. The rest of the villains also get locked up, so after this, Batman is no longer needed, and he goes into an existential crisis. Batman kind of thinks this is a trap, tries to figure out a way to get ahead of Joker's plan, but before he can do that, Alfred puts a child lock on the Batcomputer and tells Batman to see his kid. Wait, what kid? Oh yeah, the one he adopted at Commissioner Gordon's retirement party, Dick Grayson. Yeah, he's here living in the mansion, and he's just discovered the Batcave. Anyway, Batman plans to put Joker in the Phantom Zone, which is basically an alternate dimension Kryptonians use as a prison. But to access this, he needs the Phantom Projector, which is in Superman's Fortress of Solitude. However, a super bulky dude like Batman is not allowed in the fortress and is immediately neutralized. But Dick surely fits the job description because he's, small. Anyway, the two get to Soup's fortress, and Batman sneaks in Dick by distracting Soups, only to find that the Justice League is having their anniversary party without him. Nah, man. Alright, Dick, aka Robin, steals the Phantom Projector as Batman guides him through it. Now, Batman and Robin meet Joker at the Arkham Asylum, and eventually, they drop the Maniac Clown in the Phantom Zone. However, Barbara gets pissed at Batman for what he did, so she locks the dude in a prison cell. Oh, and Robin gets locked in too. Inside the Phantom Zone, Joker meets some great villains from the multiverse. There's Sauron, King Kong, Dracula, Voldemort, and freaking Godzilla. Just as the villain's minions are about to eat Joker, he screams that he can get everyone out of the Phantom Zone. Oh no. Oh no. Then Harley Quinn steals the Phantom Projector and releases all the villains, putting Gotham City under a multi-universal threat.
And I've come to finally take over the city.
This is very bad. Back at the asylum, Barbara lets Batman out, and he's the only hope the city's got. Batman makes a Batwing with some Lego bricks and heads for Wayne Manor, which the Joker is converted into the Joker's mansion. Once Batman reaches Wayne Manor, Joker zaps Batman into the Phantom Zone. Oh no. In the Phantom Zone, Batman makes a deal with Phyllis to give him 24 hours to get all the villains back at the Phantom Zone, and he'll come back too. Then we cut to Gotham City. Batman's back, and he saves Robin from accidentally killing himself. After that, Batman confronts his feelings of being alone and afraid of losing people and apologizes to Barbara. Anyway, the team gets ready to take down Joker and the villains he brought from the Phantom Zone. Everyone gets suited up, including Barbara, who becomes Batgirl. We then cut to the epic final battle. The Bat family kicks some ass and sends the villains back to the Phantom Zone one by one. However, Joker had apparently placed a bomb in the city, which eventually exploded and split Gotham City in two. Right then, Batman appeals to Joker to help him. He tells Joker that the city needs him. There's no Batman without Joker. Hearing this, a teardrop runs down Joker's cheeks, and he helps Batman and the others save Gotham City. In the end, Batman keeps his promise and returns to the Phantom Zone, just as he promised Phyllis before. However, Phyllis decides that Batman has proved to be a good boy by keeping his promise. He should stay in Gotham City. Superheroes The Flash kicks off at the Hall of Justice, where Superman and Batman are showing the Atom around and trying to recruit him to the Justice League. Then the heroes learn that Joker has attacked the city with his laughing gas. The team flies out to save the city from Joker, but one member's late. Yeah, the fastest man alive is late. How ironic. Anyway, the League's members fall victim to Joker's laughing gas one by one, with only Batman remaining. Meanwhile, Atom changes the gas's molecular structure and spoils Joker's fun, changing everyone back to normal. Next up, Flash arrives at the scene, sucker punches Joker, and takes all the credit. Just then, Reverse Flash makes his entry to taunt Flash and run away. In the heat of the moment, Flash runs after him and runs into some kind of space-time tunnel. But before Flash can catch him, he wakes up. What? We then cut to the next morning. Everything is the same as it was yesterday. It's just one big deja vu after another. And the same thing happens today. Flash arrives at the scene, runs after Reverse Flash, and enters the space-time tunnel. What the hell is going on? The same scenario keeps repeating till Flash wakes up and realizes Batman keeps telling him to stop before he chases the Reverse Flash. And this time, Flash decides to listen. Flash reaches the Hall of Justice, tells Batman about the situation. Batman immediately figures that Flash is stuck in a time loop and uses reverse psychology on Flash, telling him he's not fast enough to break it. This works, and Flash runs faster this time while chasing the Reverse Flash. In fact, he runs a little too fast and enters a wormhole, which sends him to a reality where everyone hates Flash and needs no powers. To top it all off, Flash gets fired from the Justice League for pranking the other members. Now without powers, and without a job, Flash returns to his apartment where the Reverse Flash is waiting for him. He spills everything to Flash, revealing that he turned the Justice League and the whole city against him. Oh, and by running after him every time, the Reverse Flash tricked Flash into draining his speed force. What? Why? Well, it turns out, Adam hitchhiked a ride back on Flash and listened to the whole conversation. However, before he can get back to the Justice League to tell everybody, his shrinking belt and communication system break and he can't get back to his original size. Bummer. Then, Adam calls the powerful sorcerer and superhero Dr. Fate's magic helpline to help Flash. As Flash takes the call, he gets teleported near a floating castle. Oh, also around this time, Reverse Flash has taken Flash's identity and he's been working with the Justice League. Inside the castle, Flash meets Dr. Fate and tells him the whole situation like a musical. Dr. Fate then reveals that Flash's connection to the Speed Force is broken and explains to him how he got his powers. Then Dr. Fate takes Flash to the Speed Force zone, where our hero clears some totally unnecessary obstacles. After a while, Flash reaches the Nexus, which is basically a Speed Force buff that the Reverse Flash wanted all along. And just as our Flash is about to take it, Reverse Flash comes and takes the Nexus right before Flash's eyes. Darn it.
The Nexus. Nothing can stand in my way.
After that, Reverse Flash heads to the Hall of Justice and locks the League inside by making a statue of speed bricks, which apparently even Superman can't break. And just when it seems like the Justice Gang is all done for, the Super Pets, who as the name implies are superpowered animals, come to the rescue and free the heroes. Now, Reverse Flash shows his true colors to the world and announces himself as the ruler of Earth. What a douche. Right then, Flash returns to the world on a roller car made of speed bricks. Flash uses the speed bricks to give everyone a speed boost and feel what it's like to be a speedster.
Ready, Badge? You bet.
Now, the team destroys all of Reverse Flash's statues, and at the same time, Flash sneaks up on Reverse Flash and takes the Nexus away. Just like that, Flash gets his powers back. So now, he breaks Reverse Flash's connection to the Speed Force. Damn, nicely played, Flash. Without powers, Reverse Flash, or not Flash, is thrown into the prison. Good riddance. Aquaman, Rage of Atlantis kicks off at the Hall of Justice, where the heroes learn that the intergalactic bounty hunter Lobo is stealing some alien tech. Without wasting time, the Justice League jumps in to give Lobo a proper beating. Aquaman also comes along on his Aqua Jet to help the team. However, Aquaman gets turned into a yo-yo by Lobo since the King of Atlantis can't really fight when there's no water. Duh.
Huh?
Fortunately, the rest of the heroes save the King of Fishes, but not before Lobo gets away with a glowing orb thingy. To make up for his failed attempt to fight Lobo, Aquaman invites the gang to Atlantis, where they meet Queen Mira, and Ocean Master, Aquaman's half-brother, also shows up and gets really mean. Not only that, but Ocean Master also turns everyone in Atlantis against Aquaman with mind control. The dude even pulls out the Constitution of Atlantis, saying only full-blooded Atlanteans can rule, while Aquaman, being a chill dude, says, "Okay bro, here's the crown. You manage the kingdom now." Hearing this, Mira gets pissed and performs a cool magic trick and then disappears.
Wow, what a really great trick! She is really good!
After getting the crown, Ocean Master calls in Atrocitus, a Red Lantern and a supervillain, as his royal advisor. Okay, this guy is not cool. Turns out it's the Red Lantern's power of rage that's making the Atlanteans go crazy. He orders everyone to attack the Justice League, and the crazed Atlanteans comply without a second thought. Naturally, Aquaman refuses to hurt his own citizens, so he escapes through an interdimensional portal. However, when the Justice League pops into the portal, they land on a weird and completely strange planet. But the portal closes before Green Lantern can enter. Oh yes, we have a Lady Lantern in this movie. Anyway, Mira saves the Green Lantern from the crazed Atlantean soldiers just in the nick of time. Moving on from this, we learn that Justice League has arrived on a planet controlled by Dexstar, another Red Lantern Corps member. Apparently, Dexter is preparing to invade Earth with machines powered by the Red Lantern's rage. Also, remember the orb Lobo took? Well, it's here, powering up the portal to Atlantis. Anyway, with Superman out of his juice, the team has no choice against the enemies, decides to bolt. Batman throws a distraction for the Red Lantern Kitty as the team escapes. After getting out, Justice League learns that this planet has a red sun, and without the yellow sun, Superman is not super. Instead, he's just man. Not only that, but the planet is hot and dry, so even Aquaman is of no use to them. Back in Atlantis, Mira suddenly starts attacking Green Lantern in a fit of rage. Why? Well, that's because she's also under Atrocitus' mind control. To make things worse, Ocean Master orders Mira to capture the surface world. Aw damn. Back on the alien planet, the Justice League learns that Atrocitus sucked out all the water from this planet a while back. Means the Red Lantern Baboon is planning to do the same thing on Earth. Right then, Lobo enters the building looking for his dolphin friend. Fortunately, Aquaman knows the dolphin's location, but he wants Lobo to help the Justice League escape this hellish place first. Lobo agrees, and lets the heroes enter the portal. It takes a while, but Justice League eventually returns to Earth where they confront Atrocitus. After talking for a bit, Atrocitus reveals that he wants to evaporate Earth's water using a pump called Slurp. Obviously, this hurt Ocean Master's feelings as he wanted to rule the world, which won't be possible without water. After Ocean Master cries about it, Atrocitus smacks him out with his own staff and puts him in prison with the others.
Poor little Orm, always caught in your brother's shadow.
He really had it coming. Next, we cut to the surface world, where Green Lantern finally comes along and breaks Atrocitus' hold over the Atlanteans. Good work. With his threat out of the way, Aquaman frees the prisoners, including his half-brother Ocean Master. The brothers finally bury the hatchet and go after Atrocitus. During the fight, Aquaman proves himself worthy of the Trident of Poseidon. And with the Trident, he destroys the Red Lantern battery, which made every Atlantean crazy with rage. To end the fight, the Justice League assembles and destroys Slurp. Hell, even Lobo showed up to help the guys. In the end, the goofy Aquaman at the beginning of the movie becomes the badass superhero who commands the ocean and all the creatures in it. Oh, and Lobo takes Atrocitus away to collect the bounty on his head. The Lego Movie 2 kicks off right where the first movie story ended. Everything is happy and merry until the Duplo aliens arrive to destroy the Lego world. Of course, Emmett tries to calm down the situation with Lucy's help, but it doesn't work, and the aliens lay waste to the Lego world. Oh man. After that, Justice League assembles and flies away to avenge what the aliens did to the city, but they never returned. We then cut to 5 years later, and the Lego world has become a wasteland, something straight out of Mad Max. And this new world is called Apocalypseburg. While most of the citizens have adapted to the harsh world, Emmett is still full of hope and is building homes. However, he keeps having visions of Armageddon. Yeah, it's Armageddon, where the ground opens and swallows everybody whole. Later that day, Emmett, Unikitty, and Lucy get attacked by a spaceship. Batman also joins the fight and destroys the alien spaceship. From the destroyed spaceship, an alien figure named General Mayhem appears, who is apparently the intergalactic naval commander of the Sistar system, which is basically an entire galaxy. Mayhem invites Lucy, Benny, Metalbeard, and Unikitty to a matrimonial ceremony. However, Emmett gets concerned as the time of the ceremony matches the one he saw in his dream of Armageddon. Lucy and the rest of the gang decide to fight General Mayhem because he seems shady. But of course, Mayhem captures the gang and takes them to his home planet. Emmett decides to save his friend by following Mayhem to the alien planet. My man. For that, the dude even builds a spaceship. Then we cut to the alien planet where Lucy and the gang meet the queen of the Sistar system, Whatever Wanabe, who can change her appearance the way that she likes. The creepy queen then goes on to perform a song about how they can trust her. Yeah, right, doesn't seem sus at all. While Lucy is suspicious of Whatever, Batman seems to dig the chick. But once the talks lead to marriage, Batsy gets cold feet and backs out. Next, we cut to somewhere in space. Emmett almost gets crushed by the asteroids, but fortunately, Rex Danger Vest, a mysterious spaceman, arrives right on time to save Emmett's innocent bum. Rex tells Emmett that evil Queen Whatever tries to set up people in a matrimonial ceremony and bring about Armageddon. Also, it turns out that Rex is a fan of Emmett because he stood up to the man upstairs. Back on the Sistar system, General Mayhem takes Lucy and the gang to Planet Sparkles. This planet seems like a yoga retreat. Everyone easily swoons into the facade, but Lucy's not buying it at all. Meanwhile, Emmett and Rex have found Justice Frickin' League on a strange planet. Turns out the Justice League have turned delusional because of the Queen and her henchmen. The Delulu League tries to make Rex and Emmett mad like them, but right then, Emmett punches a hole in the ground which takes them to a new planet, Duplo. Oh man, not that place. Around this time, Batman and the others have become delusional, thanks to Mayhem, but Lucy escapes the madness and runs into Emmett and Rex. And since Batman's gone totally nuts, he asks the Queen to marry him. Guess what? This marriage will somehow cause Armageddon. What? As preparations for the wedding ceremony begin, Lucy starts to fight Mayhem, who reveals her real face during the fight. That's right, General Mayhem is a girl. Mayhem tells Lucy her side of the story. Turns out everything has just been a misunderstanding and there are no bad guys on either side. Mayhem just wants Sistar System to unite with Apocalypseburg in peace. Lucy changes her mind, tries to stop Emmett from destroying the place. However, Emmett doesn't budge and thinks Lucy has also been brainwashed. After Emmett destroys the place, he sees everybody's reactions and realizes that he is in the wrong. But before he can say anything, Rex comes in and takes him away. This is where things really get interesting. Actually, Rex is Emmett. Or Emmett is Rex. What? Apparently, Rex is the future version of Emmett who got stuck in another galaxy, the Dryer system, and in the real world, Emmett actually got stuck under a clothes dryer, but yeah, in the Lego world, it's called the Dryer system. Since nobody came to save Rex, he got bitter, saved himself. Oh, also, Rex made a time machine like it's bloody Back to the Future. Then, Rex went back in time to recruit dinosaurs and came back to the present to get his revenge for being forgotten. Not only this, but Rex also throws Emmett under the same clothes dryer so Emmett can remain stuck there, and Rex continues to exist. Whoa. Meanwhile, Lucy learns the truth about Armageddon. In reality, Finn has been controlling Emmett's world while his sister has built Mayhem's Sistar system. But they are constantly fighting, and if they can't make up, their mom will put all the Legos in storage, which means both Lego worlds will be gone. That's why the Lego world controlled by the little sister is trying to make up with Emmett City. But the worst actually does happen. The siblings don't stop fighting, and all the Legos get thrown into storage. But this story does not have a sad ending, as the brother changes his mind and comes to fix it all up. He builds the whole thing again, and Mayhem and Emmett's worlds are back in action. However, Lucy's first task is to save Emmett from Rex and the Dryer system. Well, the power of love is greater than the power of hate, and Lucy ultimately comes to save Emmett and kick Rex's ass out of existence. Since Emmett never turned out to be the bad guy because Lucy came back to save him, Rex is no longer in existence. It's the laws of time travel, I guess. Batman Family Matters start with Batman spoiling DC's Frankenstein, Solomon Grundy's plans to steal an ancient artifact. First, Batman drives Grundy into the ground with his Nolan-style Batmobile, and then he returns to Gotham to handle some usual Bruce Wayne stuff. In Gotham, Bruce Wayne inaugurates the Wayne Museum, and a boy named Billy Batson tries to interview Bruce. Billy asks Wayne about his love life and his previous apprentice Jason Todd's disappearance, all of which Bruce dodges not so gracefully and then drives away. Later, Alfred takes Bruce to the Wayne Tech HQ, where they talk about Brother Eye, an AI that can handle any task. Oh, and all this while, Bruce is being monitored by Red Hood, sort of anti-hero who's working along with Two-Face.
Two-Face, it's time to implement Plan A.
Wowzers, it's dark in here.
During all of this, Bruce is just happy that the Brother Eye can even tackle all of his responsibilities, so he decides to put Wayne Enterprise on sale. Oh no. The scene then shifts to the villain's lair. Two-Face gets a pop-up on his phone about Wayne Enterprises being up for grabs, and his evil self formulates a plan to kill two birds with one stone. Back at Wayne Manor, an eager Bruce takes an even more eager Damian, aka Robin, to patrol Gotham and make their way to the Batcave to get ready. In the cave, Batman finds a note for him, telling him to meet him at Dead End Alley at midnight. In the alley, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Batwoman join Batman. Turns out, the whole Bat family got the same note. As expected, Robin also arrives to help his homies. As it turns out, some red robots are already waiting for the team at the place, and Robin almost gets his brains blown out by one of them. Anyway, Red Hood makes his appearance like the Jigsaw Killer. And apparently, he knows everybody's real identity. What? To make things worse, Red Hood has planted 5 bombs across Gotham City. Now the Bat family must find these bombs so Gotham doesn't get cooked. Elsewhere, the supervillain Killer Croc is taking Commissioner Gordon hostage with a bomb placed nearby. In no time, Batman arrives and beats Killer Croc unconscious to defuse the bomb at the last second and save the Commissioner. But in the next moment, Red Hood catches Batman off guard and takes her hostage. Then we cut to Batgirl's location where she gets caught off guard by Scarecrow's toxin. Still, the brave vigilante tries to defuse the second bomb. Scarecrow takes the bomb, tries to fly away with it, but Batgirl chases him in her Batjet. She takes the bomb and throws it at Scarecrow as it's about to explode, only to find out it's actually a confetti bomb. Huh? Anyway, as Batgirl is distracted by Scarecrow, Red Hood tases her too and then takes her hostage. Just like that, Red Hood tries to capture Robin as well, but fortunately, Nightwing comes to the rescue and starts chasing Red Hood. But eventually, Red Hood manages to capture Nightwing as well. Meanwhile, Batman confronts Two-Face, who's holding another bomb. Unfortunately, Billy Batson is also on the scene, so Batman asks the boy to get the hell out of there. Naturally, the boy doesn't listen. Teenagers, man, am I right? Now, while Batman fights off Two-Face, Billy disables the bomb as a voice in his head guides him. Nice! Anyway, Batman puts Two-Face on the ground and gets him talking about the 5th bomb. After getting the information, Batman calls his subordinates, and surprise, surprise, they've been captured by Red Hood, who trolls Batman and tells him to come home. In the Batcave, Red Hood is sitting on the Bat computer trying to break Batman's video game record. Seriously? Behind him is the Bat family, hanging by chains on their hands, including dear old Alfred. Then, Batman makes a superhero entry into the Batcave, and right off the bat reveals the identity of Red Hood. Surprisingly, Red Hood is none other than Jason Todd, the second Robin who was once a Bat protege. Jason starts yapping about how he was heartbroken thinking Bruce didn't care about him, but Bruce says that he tracked Jason's every activity to make sure that he's safe, but he lost Jason somewhere in Tunisia. With the picture finally clear, Jason frees the Bat family, tells them not to worry about the last bomb, as it's just another automatic piñata, and just when all seems to mellow down, boom, there's an explosion. Turns out it's the AI Brother Eye, which was made by none other than Wayne Tech. But after Bruce sold his company, Two-Face bought Wayne Enterprises. Bruce didn't realize that Two-Face bought his company because the sly villain set up several dummy corporations to buy Wayne Enterprises. Anyway, now that Two-Face controls the Brother Eye, he unleashes the AI-controlled robots on Gotham City and says he wants to destroy Bruce Wayne. Now, Batman sends the rest of the Bat family to save the city while he breaks into Wayne Enterprises to stop the AI. But Jason, being the sneaky one, is closely following Batman. Takes some effort, but Jason eventually destroys the Brother Eye. Now the only problem that remains is that the disconnected Brother Eye's satellite is dropping onto Earth. Oh man, these guys can't catch a break. We then cut back to Wayne Tower, where Batman saves Jason from the bullets of Two-Face by landing a sweet Superman punch to his face.
This is gonna hurt.
Just then, Brother Eye restores the backup power and prepares to blow up the nuclear reactor in Wayne Enterprises. The hell is going on here? As the AI charges the nuclear reactor, the rest of the Bat family takes their Lego planes to destroy the satellite. They do a pretty damn good job of it, with the satellite finally destroyed and Two-Face taken care of. The only thing left is Brother Eye. Surprisingly, the AI will listen only to Bruce Wayne, so Batman takes off his mask and reveals his identity to the AI. What's even more surprising is the fact that the AI is hurt by Bruce. It thinks that Bruce doesn't like him.
Alfred, the only worthwhile cause is justice. If I have to sit through another meeting about some stupid computer program.
Okay, that's cute. So Bruce makes a meaningful apology to Jason and Brother Eye, and Brother Eye's like, chill dude, it's cool. And finally Shazam, Magic and Monsters, kicks off with a new superhero in town. Fresh out of the oven, he stops a robbery and makes a name for himself by being the friendly neighborhood Shazam, after saving a dog from a tree. Yeah, not a cat, a dog from a tree. And getting the notorious Penguin behind bars, Shazam becomes the new hotshot superhero in town. But the star status only lasts as long as he is Shazam. It's because as soon as he says Shazam, he goes back to normal life being Billy Batson. Afterward, Clark Kent's boss sends him to cover a news story for the local farmer's market where trouble is waiting for him. There's a wannabe Batman and a Hulk from Temu looting all the produce at the market for their boss, Mr. Mind, who's a tiny evil worm from Venus with telepathic powers. Yikes. Anyway, the team saves some Lego people from dying and whoops the villains' asses before they run away. However, Batman puts a tracker on one of the douche villains to find their hiding spot. We then cut to the aftermath of the battle. Justice League already likes Shazam and wants them to join, but Batsy is still pretty suspicious. Then Flash invites Shazam to see the Hall of Justice, which freaks Shazam out completely as the kid in him pops out of excitement. Next, Mr. Mind makes his appearance and screams at his worthless henchman. We also meet Dr. Sivana, who is being influenced by Mr. Mind. Right now, Sivana's working on some weird green formula with magic and science. This, honestly, does not look good. Back at the Justice League HQ, the League asks Shazam to join. Even though Shazam would like nothing more, he refuses. Shazam thinks that the League would have rejected him if they knew that he was a kid. So Shazam apologizes and takes off. Afterward, Billy goes off to see the old wizard who made Billy his new champion, or Shazam. The wizard tells Shazam about Black Adam, the champion before Billy, who got corrupted with power. However, the same won't happen to Billy because he's the true champion. And, plot armor. Just then, the wizard senses some disturbance in the force and opens a portal to the location of the League. Shazam pops in the portal to help his fellow heroes. Justice League follows Mr. Mind's location through Batman's tracker from before, but it was all a setup. The entire team gets trapped. Oh man. Right after, Mr. Mind comes out to make introductions and take control of the League's minds. What? No. Anyway, turns out Dr. Sivana was working on a formula to make the members of the Justice League kids again so that the evil little worm can easily control their minds. Yeah, kids can be easily manipulated. Classic. Oh, and Batman, or Batboy being the mischievous kid, makes his escape before the worm can get to his mind. As the little Batman is escaping the compound, he's chased by the villains. Just as things are about to become difficult for Batman, Shazam pops in and saves the day. But the funny part is that Shazam doesn't realize he just saved Batman. He thinks it's some kid cosplaying as Batman. Anyway, Batman clears up the confusion after giving Shazam a body slam. Damn. Even Kid Batman can fight. After clearing up the confusion, Batman calls the Batmobile, lets Shazam know that he doesn't yet trust Shazam and will take care of the situation himself. However, he still needs Shazam to drive him to the Batcave because his teeny tiny legs can't reach the pedals. Next, we cut to the Batcave. Shazam is obviously shocked to see all the cool stuff in the Batcave and says that it's even cooler than the Rock of Eternity. That's where the wizard lives. Anyway, Batman uses his supercomputer to find the location of all the members of the Justice League. Batman still doesn't trust Shazam, so Shazam changes into Billy and reveals his secret identity. Turns out, Batman remembers Billy Batson as he once helped Batman. After hearing the emotional story of Billy, Batman becomes somewhat emotional and reveals his true identity as well. Whoa. After the brief exchange of emotional trauma, Batman figures out how to get the members of the League out of Mr. Mind's control. It's simple. Make them angry or emotional enough to break it. Well, it's pretty easy considering they're all kids at the moment. It's gonna be a piece of cake. The first one is Green Lantern, and Shazam kinda breaks the Worm's control by tricking her into making random stuff from the ring. Just as she's about to lose control, Shazam zaps her with a bat gadget and breaks her from Mr. Mind's mind control. Next up, Wonder Woman. Batman simply rage baits her, and just when she's angry enough, he zaps her unconscious and breaks the Worm's control. 2 down, 2 more to go. Now Shazam goes after the Flash and rage baits him into going full Flash mode till he's about to collapse from running, and then zaps him too. In the next scene, Batman confronts Superman as he's raiding a farm in search of food. Following the pattern, Batman gets close and makes Superman mad enough to zap him too. Once all this is done, the Justice League decides to return to the warehouse and figure out Mr. Mind's plan. The League gets to where the little worm is hiding. Turns out the little worm is not so little anymore. He's in a cocoon. He's about to transform into a giant moth.
We're gonna need some serious mothballs.
Holy Mother Mothra. Seeing the giant-ass moth, the League immediately gets back to safety. In all the panic, Shazam decides to take everybody to the Rock of Eternity, hoping the wizard would help them. Unfortunately though, the worm-turned-moth decides to follow the League. Once on the rock, the moth decides to chew the Rock of Eternity from the outside, which breaks Black freaking Adam from his prison. Turns out, it was Black Adam from the start who orchestrated the whole thing. He manipulated Mr. Mind, who ironically has a pretty weak mind. Black Adam then literally beats Mr. Mind back to his worm form and sends him flying into space with a flick. After being done with the little worm, Black Adam turns the rest of the gang and throws them into space one by one. He literally grabs Batman and the Flash in each of his hands and throws them out. Jesus. Black Adam then turns to Shazam and begins to beat him senseless. The wizard senses that Black Adam will kill Shazam, so he intervenes and tells Black Adam to fight him instead. The villain agrees, but not before throwing Shazam into space. The wizard then opens a portal back to Earth before being destroyed by Black Adam along with the Rock of Eternity. Damn! The explosion is so big that the League is thrown into the portal and back on Earth. Now on Earth, the Justice League prepares to fight Black Adam by modifying their vehicles to fit their child versions. Meanwhile, Black Adam announces to the whole world that he's going to run things on Earth now. But before he can say more, the League interrupts his little speech. They fight it out, and obviously, Black Adam smashes the League with his seemingly limitless powers. Then, Shazam has the brilliant idea to share his powers with the rest of the Justice League. Batman with powers? What? With the new powers, and back in their adult form, the Justice League pins down Black Adam. Not only this, but they also give Shazam the chance to transform again, and in the process, take away Black Adam's powers. That's one way of doing it. Well, with the bad guy defeated, and everything going back to normal, the League decides to go for a celebration and takes Billy to meet his sister and his uncle. Alright guys, that's enough superhero stuff for me today. While I get into my man cave to get some sleep, you can check out some other amazing videos on the channel. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. See ya!